Hey folks, I am sitting here in the garden at my new property, which you guys have not seen yet. So I'm going to take you on a really quick tour because my light is sort of failing me. But I wanted to kind of show you what all I have going on and just kind of let you know that I will be creating new videos. Yay! So hopefully you are still subscribed. I know a lot of you are, and I'm still getting new subscriptions all the time. So if you're new to my channel, I've been taking a break for a little while. I've relocated. I was in an apartment and I was doing all container planters, which is most of what you can see right here in a row behind me. These are all my old sub-irrigated planters, which I have planted up with mint and all kinds of great things for a cut flower farm that I have started. So I'm going to take you on a little walk really quick. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see sort of what I have growing. And let me know if you have any questions. I do have a few videos planned. I've already shot a little bit of footage for how I'm building my beds and things like that. So if you see something in this video that you're kind of curious about and you'd like to see me create a video on, please let me know. I'm always looking for ideas for videos, and now that I can actually plant into the ground as opposed to just my wonderful sub-irrigated planters, I have a lot of options. So if there's something that you're curious about, you kind of want to know, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and quit talking and flip the camera around. I'm gonna keep talking, but I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what I have in the garden. Okay, so I'm gonna start with bed one. Bed one was planted in fall, as was bed two. So bed one is this one right here at the very side of my field block. I'm still working on building beds, so I've only got about half of my beds built. You can see the rest of the field is covered in plastic right now. That's for a lot of different reasons, and if you guys want, I can do a video on why I use plastic and what it's for, and how a tarp or something similar might be good for you. So bed one and bed two were planted in fall, and these are all winter hardy plants in my zone. Now, a couple of things have already finished blooming and I've already pulled them out. This is actually some really fabulous dill. When it blooms at first, it looks like this. It's really pretty, like yellow bloom. But then as the blooms mature and the blooms drop off, it builds these really cool looking seed heads that are absolutely massive. But it's really fun looking and I love it. But yes, so this area had Bupleurum, which is a really beautiful chartreuse sort of flower, and I've ripped all that out, and I had to plant a little section of sunflowers here, which obviously are almost done. There are only 4 left. And then I've got some wonderful grasses, and just some really beautiful flowers. And here is a bumblebee out for some dinner. I can tell you the pollinators and beneficial insects that I get to see in the garden every day is pretty fabulous. I have some, this is actually a variety of black-eyed Susan. It's also called Rudbeckia. This is called Prairie Sun, which is just adorable, isn't that? It's not open all the way quite yet, but it's almost there. It's really gorgeous. I have some more, here's one that's open all the way. Look at that, isn't that? It's so happy to see you. I love these flowers. This is called pincushion flower. And if you can see, it's got these little like white, they're not called stamens, what are they called? The little pieces of the flower that have the pollen on them. You'd think I would have a better understanding of flower anatomy as a flower grower, but I don't. Sometimes the words escape me. But it comes in all these fabulous colors. I have, this is called, what is this called? Fire King? It's a really pretty like pinkish red variety. And I've also got a black or purplish black variety down here. Isn't that just scrumptious? Oh my gosh, I love it. Here it is a little bit more open. So here's another section of plants that have been pulled out, and this is actually cosmos that have been planted in its place, and a little bit of cress that I direct seeded and is coming up now. This is honeywort, which is a really cute flower, and this is always just completely swamped in pollinators. I've actually let this go to seed. This is what the flower looks like. It reminds me of hops a little bit, just because of the way that it forms and it hangs like this. But as you can see, I've let a lot of it go to seed. There's a bunch of black seeds in there, which is totally fine with me. It's dropping a bunch of seeds here, and it's probably just gonna reseed here most years, and I'm totally fine with that. This is gonna be a honeywort patch. And this fabulous giant, oh my gosh, you guys. This is a form of Queen Anne's lace. Queen Anne's lace typically has a little red flower in the middle. Not every bloom does, but here's a great example. So this flower is made up of, this bloom is actually made up of a ton of different individual flowers that are itty bitty, but it has this single center bloom that is this like really dark red, almost black color. It's really pretty. This is actually called Daucus dara. Daucus is the scientific term for like a carrot. It's I think it's either the genus or species. Again, you'd think I would know more about the scientific, but you know, hit me at a different day or while I'm in front of my computer and I can look it up. And then we've got, ooh, what's in here? I think this is a beneficial. Oh, he got scared and ran away. He's down here now. It's not an assassin bug, but it is a beetle that doesn't do any damage. So he's totally fine. I'm gonna leave him. I don't remember what he's called. But this is a variety called Dara, or purple carrot, or some varieties, similar varieties called purple kisses. But anyways, this is a sort of a, it's a wild carrot basically. If you break up the leaves and the plant itself, it smells sort of like carrot, but it comes, the blooms come in a range from like this really dark burgundy to, as you can see back here, like this almost creamy blush white. It's really gorgeous. And I think it has variety all in the same plant. So you can get a dark bloom and a light bloom. I'm fairly certain all in the same plant. It may be different plant to plant, but this patch is so wild that trying to suss that out would be a little difficult. And then this back here is one of my snapdragon patches, which is desperately in need of being harvested. In most cases, when you're growing flowers, if you have flowers in the field that are blooming, that's just money in the field instead of money in the bank. But as we all know, this has been a really bizarre year with the pandemic. Here, I'm gonna flip the camera around. This has been a really bizarre year with the pandemic. Things have just been really weird. My camera is fuzzy, so I'm gonna clean that off. Oh, that's better. I can see you now. Things have just been weird. My farmer's market that I was going to last year, oh my gosh, I'm bleeding. What did I do to myself? I must have scratched myself. Sorry guys, I don't mean to bleed on camera. That's awful. But my farmer's market that I've been going to for the last 2 years as a plant sale. So I was doing a charity plant sale in spring. They are at a completely different location right now, and they are really limiting the number of vendors that can be there, which is, and I have a road right in front of my house, which is really difficult for me as a producer, because I can't get to my potential market. And as a very brand new flower farm, like this is the first season that I was planning on selling, it's just made it a little bit difficult. And it's okay because I have a full-time job. Like I'm not all that worried about, and this is my house, it's yellow, isn't it adorable? I don't need the income, but there are so many businesses that are farmers market vendors that really do, like that is their main source of income. So I just feel for all of these people, because I'm standing, the few weekends that I've been able to go to the market so far, I am standing next to these people where this farmer's market is their source of income. And the market isn't open all the time. Like it's maybe not open every weekend, or maybe it's got limited vendors and they can't be there every weekend. They have to be on like a a shift schedule with other vendors, and it just makes it really difficult as a small business owner. That if this was your livelihood, whether it's a farm or you're producing jellies or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, it just makes it really difficult to make a living being a small business owner when your primary market is the farmer's market, and that's how you connect with your clients. So I go to the farmer's market, I'm standing next to these people who this is their primary source of income, and it's kind of heartbreaking seeing them. But I will say the consumer response to the pandemic has been awesome in that people are supporting small businesses, and especially right now during this huge Black Lives Matter movement, which is so needed. And I'm not going to get into politics, but there are problems. There are definitely problems, and I'm so glad that it's getting the attention that it's getting right now. It breaks my heart to see people hurting over this, but it's been going on for so long. And I mean, my God, it's 2020 and we still have issues with discrimination. So, which is just sad. So yeah, seeing the support of small businesses, especially those owned by minorities, has been fabulous lately. But yes. So anyways, this is the garden. You got to see a couple of the plants in the first couple of beds. If you're wondering, the bed that you can see kind of like right behind me here, so you can see the blooms of the carrot, the wild carrot, which isn't actually a wild carrot variety, but it's a form of carrot that's used in cut flower production. But in front of that, closer to me, you can see this white sort of mesh. This is actually, it's called, the brand that I get is called Hortanova. It's made by Tenax, and it is a crop support netting. So you can use it horizontally, and here, I'll flip it around so you can kind of see. You probably saw it in the earlier beds, but I'll show you some of my more recent plantings. You can use it horizontally over the bed, and the crops, this dill is a great example, grow up through the netting, and then when there's like a big rainstorm or something, or lots of wind, the plant can move around, but it's supported, it's prevented from being blown completely over or being toppled over by the weight of the rainwater, just from this netting. And then if you hang it vertically, which I have done with T-posts, or just fencing posts, whatever you want to call them, you can zip tie it, and that's what I've done. Here, I'll walk around to the front of the bed. I've supported it along these posts with zip ties just to prevent it from sagging too much. And it's been providing support to actually a lot of different crops. I had a full crop, probably half this bed was filled with sweet peas, maybe a third of it, with sweet peas, which have bloomed out and they're done now. And now I've got all kinds of wonderful things growing here. What I'm most excited about growing here are these tomatoes. So many tomatoes. I have 30 tomato plants in my garden right now. I'm so happy about. And spaced in between each tomato plant is this really fabulous vine that's used in flower arranging called Love in a Puff. And the reason it's called Love in a Puff, it has these, like, let me just find a bloom for you. It has these really teeny tiny little flowers that are just, they're so adorable. But when the flower matures into a seed pod, this is the seed pod. It's like a little paper balloon. Like, it's so cute. I can't even explain how adorable this is. And it's like, it's squishy. It's like a little pillow. It's like a little air pillow, air pack. So I have that interplanted between my tomatoes for both to let me know where a specific variety starts and stops, but also just to have a little bit of space in between each of these vines, because these vines grab on really aggressively to whatever trellis it is they're against. So this is it just starting to grab on. It will wrap completely around this piece of netting. So keeping each Love in a Puff vine sort of separated out helps me manage them a little bit better. So anyways, that's what I have going on here in the garden. I have all kinds of cut flowers for professional use, as well as food crops for myself and fun things. This is called borage. It's an edible flower. It tastes kind of like cucumber. Here, can you taste that? Tastes like cucumber. I hope you got a whiff of that. And and I've got a lot more beds to build. And that's what I'm working on this evening. I am filling in a walkway for a new bed so that I can plant more zinnias. Have you ever had a zinnia flower? Not to eat, I mean like in a bouquet. They're really beautiful flowers that are very full. They're kind of like dahlias, honestly, in their use. They're just full and gorgeous, lots of petals, super bright colors. They're just wonderful. So I'm building this bed right now, filling in the walkways with wood chips, and that's just for weed management to make it so that I can stay sane while I'm managing this space. This space is 75 feet this way and 50 feet that way. And my beds are 3 feet wide and my walkways are 18 inches, so 1.5 feet. So I'm able to fit, if my math and my measurements are right, 17 beds in this area, in this field. So this is gonna be field 1. And then back there, where there's lots of grass and clover, will be hopefully eventually field 2. I own a chunk of these woods back here, a little ways back. So I'm thinking if production goes well this year, I might take out a small section of trees just kind of here at the front so that I can get more sun coming into this area of the field, because this is south. So as the sun is making its journey through my sky, I'm getting a lot of shade in the morning and in the late evening, especially in fall and in spring. In summer, this entire field plot is getting full sun, but in the shoulder season, fall and summer, the field is getting shade around the edges, especially the back edge in the morning and evening. Right around noon, I'm getting almost full sun in the whole field, but it's not fantastic. The trees are definitely in the way and slowing some crops down. So lots of plans, lots of dreams, lots of work to do. Sorry you're having to look at the giant mess behind me. I have some blueberry bushes that I still have to plant. I've got so many things I want to do. So I hope you all are doing well. I hope that you and your families are well during this pandemic and the just kind of the crazy times that we're in. It's a pretty incredible time to be alive. We're in the information age. I can come to you like this. I can share what I'm learning, what I know with you, but also we've got all these, it's good and bad. We've got a lot of things going on right now. So I hope you're well. If you have any questions or you have anything that you would like to see me talk about, you want to see why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing back here or something specific about what I'm doing, please let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas, like I said, for content that I can create that would be useful to you. And I have a few videos on the way. I am actively recording. I just need to sit down and edit it all, which takes time. But I am working on new videos, which I haven't done in a long time because I've been so busy with moving and trying to find a house and all the things. So let me know. I hope you're well. Love you guys. Bye.